going to look at the 4 pillars of success. KAPI-HANUMAN. Why is he the 4th pillar of success? The chief of monkeys, you can always interpret as Hanuman, or one who is the master of the monkey. So it could be pointing to the master Rama or the devotee of Sri Rama, the Kapihi. And the best forms of sacrifices, and the best form of sacrifice will be sacrificing our own intent, the thoughts in the lotus feet of the god. The liquid form can be referred to, of sacrifice can be referred to as Soma generically. Real Soma is the bliss that comes out of the knowledge, supreme knowledge of wisdom itself, and not the MATHI. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Jai Shri Ram. Welcome back to the Glaze Studios vlog number 52 of Sri Vishnu Sahasranamavali. This is a painting that follows the principle of calligram or micrography, using which the 1000 names of Sri Vishnu are getting painted. While the painting is coming up, I'm also trying to understand the deeper meanings lying underneath these names with the help of scriptures from Sanatana Dharma. Whatever I am learning as an amateur, I'm also trying to share with you via these weekly vlogs. Each vlog typically covers about 10 names and the meanings, and then we take a tangential perspective storyline into Sanatana Dharma. Though I'm covering 10 at a time, you will also notice that there is a lot of interconnection between the names. Hence, I will be referring back and forth to the previous vlogs. So it will always be very helpful for you to take a look at the previous vlogs and come back to this, so you're able to enjoy it more, maybe find it more useful for your personal or professional life. Today we will cover 10 names. The plan is to cover 501st name up to 510th name, and then we are going to look at the 4 pillars of success. KAPI-HANUMAN, popularly known as the monkey god. Why is he the 4th pillar of success? We'll try to understand that, and we are going to delve deeper into conflict management and decision making as well. So this is going to be a very quick management session also for you. So please do make a use of it. Take a pen and paper, get ready for some note making as well. But without much ado, we should get started with the names and the meanings first, so that we are able to enjoy the 4 pillars of success right after that. Starting with the 501st name, Om Kapindraya Namaha. Kapi refers to the 2 meanings. The boar, Varaha. So you have already seen the Varaha avatar, the manifestation of Sri Vishnu in the form of a boar, that we talked about in one of the vlogs. But there is also another meaning that it could be, and that is the monkey. Or here Kapindraya Namaha could refer to the chief of monkeys. You can always interpret as Hanuman, or one who is the master of the monkey. So it could be pointing to Sri Rama as well. So it could be pointing to the master Rama or the devotee of Sri Rama, the KAPI-HANUMAN. But we are going to look at that tangent of Hanuman in our session today. So moving on to the 502nd name, Om Bhuridakshinaya Namaha. What's that? So one whom's numerous dakshinas or offerings are made. We have understood the offerings and sacrifice and their inner meanings in one of the vlogs, and the real purpose also through those vlogs. There are best forms of sacrifices, and the best form of sacrifice will be sacrificing our own intent, the thoughts in the lotus feet of the god. So he is the receiver. Bhuri Dakshinaya Namaha points to the receiver of this numerous offerings made in yajnas, and it's also referring to one who offers the distribution of wealth in the yajna abundantly. So whenever you sacrifice something, you get more of it coming in abundance in your way. So when you are giving out knowledge, does it reduce the knowledge bank in your head? No, you spread more of knowledge, you gain more of perspectives, and you are adding more value. So you become more and more, you speak of it. Swadhyaya pravachanam. So practice and also do the pravachan, meaning share the knowledge. Yeah. So the more you do it, you become firm in the knowledge, isn't it? So coming back to this Bhuri Dakshinaya, the deeper meaning will be that the distribution of this wealth, is also happening when it is sacrificed. And the way it happens is in abundance. Yeah. The 503rd name is Om Somapaya Namaha. One who drinks the soma in all yajnas in the form of a devata. So the liquid form can be referred to of sacrifice can be referred to as soma generically, but soma also points to, in Vedic scriptures, in many scriptures, as a particular type of a drink that was made for the devatas. It is often misconstrued as a alcoholic drink or a kind of sedative beverage, but it is not. But this is another topic altogether to discuss what soma is. We'll find another opportunity to touch base on this, but at least for now, to close this discussion, I will say that it should never be misinterpreted as a alcoholic beverage. 504th name, Om Amritapaya Namaha. Again, Amrita is also a kind of drink that is mentioned, just like soma. So one who drinks the immortal bliss, which is of one's own nature, one who drinks Amrita. So these, you can literally think of, okay, Amrita must be a sweet drink and soma must be some alcoholic drink, and give names also. These are used many times for branding as well. But the real Amrita or real soma is the bliss that comes out of the knowledge, supreme knowledge of wisdom itself, and not the material drinks that we can think of. Yeah. So coming back to the 505th name, which is Om Somaya Namaha. Name of Somaya. Okay, here soma, again, like I mentioned, there could be very different interpretation, and right now this name also proves the point. Somaya here points to the name of a musical god, Gandharva. And that's a meaning coming out of this. And there is also another meaning, one who has the moon that invigorates the plants. So there is also a moonlight. Soma is also pointing to the energy coming out of the moon that is invigorating the plant. So look at the different dimensions coming out of a single name. From all these discussions we have had so far, now we know that we cannot take one literal meaning and say that this is what it could be. The more deeper we'll get into, for at least my understanding, I feel that I know very less and I need to learn more, because the depth is getting, it gets even deeper and deeper. So the 506th name, Om Purjite Namaha, refers to one who gains victory over numerous people or repeatedly successful. The consistency is mentioned here. 507th name is Om Purushattamaya Namaha, refers to the greatest among well-behaved ones, counted repeatedly. Again, Puru refers to great and Sattama refers to most important. Hence it mixes well here. But if you look at the previous name and this name and connect the dots, so victory, repeated victory, consistency, and most well behaved. So the repeated victory and consistency, repeated victory is coming through the consistency and behaving well and not trying to abuse the power being used. Can we, connect it and try to understand it as such? 508th name is Om Vinayaya Namaha. One who inflicts Vinaya. Okay, Vinaya, again, Vinaya has two different meanings that I could talk today in this video. There could be more, yeah. So two different meanings we are touching upon now. One is punishment to the evil ones. Vinaya is also humility. Oh, the well-behaved one, it's connecting there. Yes. So how do you want to interpret? Where in the mindset in your life at this point you are, you will be naturally attracted to the kind of meaning that you want to take from this session. With that, we'll move on to the 509th name, which is the Om Jayaya Namaha. Successful, victorious. Jayam refers to being successful. There is humility, there is consistency, there is well-behaved, personality leading to success. 510th name is Om Satya Sandhyaya Namaha. Satya Sandhaya Namaha. Sanda, one who is Sanda or resolve becomes always true. Satya refers to truth. So he is the Satya Sanda, meaning one who is resolved to truth, or one who is wedded to truth. Ultimately, success is now pieced out from, as it's coming from being true, being consistent, being well behaved, humble, having humility, and then, through all these elements, automatically you end up being successful. That's the meaning here. And the kapi that we are going to discuss is also explaining very thoroughly what is the 4 pillars of success. So now that we are done with the names and the meanings, we will move on to the kapi, understanding the 4 pillars of success through Hanuman. Hanuman, the personality as such, comes through vibrantly in Rāmāyaṇā, and we have a particular kandam or a section allocated for the kapi Hanuman. How important could that be in a Rāmāyaṇam, Ramasya Ayanam, which is Rama's history? Rama's story is Rāmāyaṇam. But when telling Rama's story, how could it be possible that one character in the story gets a huge section for himself? Because he is the pillar of success. And that's what we are going to decipher right away. So in this situation, we have discussed Rāmāyaṇā in bits and pieces in previous vlogs as well. For those who are checking this out for the first time, a quick review on what we have done so far is that to understand different situations Rama had to go through, and one of the dire situation he was in was that somebody had abducted his own wife, Lady Sita, and he was not in a position to deploy resources from his kingdom because he was already in exile in a forest. So he had to take the help of newly formed friends, and that being Vanaras. Vanara referring to precursor to Nara. Va meaning precursor to Nara, which is precursor to Nara. Nara is human. Precursor to Nara is Pithecanthropus erectus, Homo erectus, we can call it, or simply, the the ape form is the simplified name. Yeah, so you can expect the Kapi to have both abilities of a typical human and the abilities of the animal monkey also in him. So that's the context, and for some reason this Kapi Hanuman gets aligned into the responsibility of finding Lady Sita. They do not know where to go to, but somehow there is a pointer given that she could possibly be in a place that is some miles across, and that is somewhere in Lanka, that is present day Sri Lanka. So this is the brief given to the Kapi. Yeah, so we'll look at the storyline quickly and then look at why he is the pillars of success. So he has been given a particular job to go to a place and search for Lady Sita, come back and give the message. But from the input that's been given to him, Hanuman starts processing certain things. First of all, the way he interprets this job order. But look at the way he interprets from his point of view. Jump across 100 yojanas. In those days, yojanas will be today's miles, 1000 miles or 1600 kilometers. Pinpoint the exact location of Lady Sita. Find out whether she is alive, and if she is alive, what condition is she in. Communicate first to Lady Sita that there is a rescue operation underway, so she can hold on to some positive action coming up. And also survey the enemy. Whoever is abducted must be powerful. Let's figure out. Try to warn the enemy and try to see if we can negotiate and bring Lady Sita back and complete all these tasks within a day. So look at the task given and the interpretation that he makes. This itself is enormous. So on his way, Hanumanji faces 4 kinds of challenges, and these are all metaphors. Let's look at the challenges that he faces and how he is approaching them, and that will be our binding 4 layers or 4 pillars of success. So the kind of challenges that he faces when he is making that huge move, first of all, he is resizing himself. You can interpret it as, gaining that energy needed to make this huge jump through the 100 yojanas and making that move. And when he is making the move, the first challenge that he faces is the mountain Mainaka. Mainaka is a mountain that can grow herself or himself in size a little faster, coming out of the waters and kind of posing a blockage and asking him to maybe politely, in fact not to create a tension as per se, but he wants to give a little bit of space and time for Hanumanji to take rest and maybe gain the energy needed to make this further jump, make this move. This is a beautiful offer, nice offer, but it's turned down by Hanumanji politely because it's a distraction, let's say, from his primal goal. So he kind of avoids this, thanks him and says, I promise that I will come back and meet you when my job is done. Yeah, and then he moves on. The next interruption challenge that comes around is a snake format, a huge sea snake. You can think of a snake queen called Surasa comes out of the waterbed and turns into a huge element, stopping him, blocking him from moving, and also threatening him a little bit, saying that I have a boon that you should enter my mouth rather than reaching wherever your goal is. He understands the intent of the snake, the terrorizing impact that that snake is creating, but at the same time tries to interpret the language that is being used here. So what is exactly being said? That I need to enter your mouth. So let me show the real size. And he resizes himself, even getting bigger in physicality. So she does even bigger resizing of her own, fangs and her own, hood. So this resizing game goes on to a level where nothing else can be seen. It's total darkness everywhere. And when she's resized her mouth that large, very quickly Hanumanji turns into a very tiny monkey, runs around the mouth of Surasa and comes out and says, "The job is done. You said I have to enter your mouth. I just did. The job is done. Thank you, bye-bye." And he moves on to the goal, trying to find Lady Sita. The third challenge that comes across is Simhika, another demoness from the sea. She opens up the fierceness and also wants the same thing. Eat him up. Eat this monkey up. But this time, he knows how to stop her. He resizes. The resizing game happens again. Bigger and bigger, stronger and stronger. And at one point, he thrashes this demoness Simhika, eliminating her out of the way and moving on further. He has now reached Lanka. The fourth challenge awaits, which is the fortress god Lankini herself. And she is a responsible officer, a person responsible for the security of the land, and inquires who is he? Why is he here? He tries to have a amiable conversation explaining that he would be a tourist or a guest just visiting this place and understanding, admiring the beauty of the land, and wants to just take a quick sneak peek into this land and will be back in a while. But somehow this fortress god Lankini is sharp enough to understand that the intent is much more deeper than what is being said and blocks him. But this time, without the resizing or such, he tries to hit her in a way not to eliminate her or kill her, but to just block her temporarily so that she is, in a state of slight unconsciousness until he is able to get the job done and moves on. What he does inside Lanka, how he finds Sita Devi, is another storyline. But until this moment, if we look at the 4 roadblocks he had faced, have 4 different meanings, and all 4, did he use the same kind of approach? And why not? Why choose this method here and that method there? Let's look at that. Let's decode the metaphors. The first one was Menika, the mountain. It was a nature making a natural conflict out of the nature itself. So nature creating a natural conflict can be resolved through discussion. So he was very polite and showing the love and acknowledging the concern, and promising to come back and meet him when the time is. Yes, so conflict can be resolved through such discussion when it is naturally ebbing out of different discussions. It could happen naturally. We are discussing something and disagreeing, so it could be maybe resolved in a very polite and amicable way. The second challenge was the snake queen Surasa. She was posing to be a huge danger, but the language that she used intuitively gave a message to Hanuman that nature is posing a friend as an enemy, but there is some care and concern. That's why the language is still polite, even though the figure appears huge, obnoxious and dangerous. The language itself seems so fragile here and there, and he intuitively understands that this is also a tactic to stop him in a polite way. So he uses a tactical approach by resolving this conflict, uses his intelligence, common sense. So showing love was the first one, showing intelligence and common sense, and using your own words against yourself. So you said entering the mouth, I'll enter the mouth and exit it, just like that. The third demon is that he comes across, Simhika, is a real threat. It's an unknown element. It is possibly an enemy, needs elimination. Hence, he eliminates using force. The fourth challenge is this fortress god. She's actually in the right. She is doing her job, isn't it? So it's her duty to take care of the land that she is guarding, isn't it? So to resolve this conflict, the method he takes on is to displace the threat temporarily, because killing her will attract more attention, and at this point he is not even sure whether Lady Sita is there in this land or not. It's unnecessary attention at this time. He has to sneak into this country. So it was a combination of intelligence and mild force used, isn't it? So what we see, this love, acknowledging concern, the intelligence in the common sense, the force application in the third situation. The fourth situation is a combination of intelligence and mild force, is what we call as DHRUTHI, DRUSHTI, MATHI and DＡKSHYAM. These are the four pillars of success. DHRUTHI meaning the stability and determination in approach to every situation. DRUSHTI is the focus and vision, seeing beyond what is there and not debating unnecessarily or such. Using the common sense and intelligence is the third one, that is MATHI. Being resourceful, the first ever element, even before we started facing the challenge, was how he interprets the task given. DāKSHYAM, the resourcefulness. How much resourceful can one be? Is the DāKSHYAM element, resourcefulness. So in simplified terms, one has stability and determination, DHRUTHI, focus, vision, DRUSHTI, intelligence and common sense, that is MATHI, resourcefulness, that is DāKSHYAM, then success is definitely bound to come your way. And this is also a very symbolic, metaphoric way of understanding the conflict from its roots and whether it really needs force in all the situations, yes or no. That is conflict management. And the quickness in decision making, because you can keep on deliberating on every topic, but the quickness in decision making, what kind of force application should we do in this particular situation? DHRUTHI, DRUSHTI, MATHI and DāKSHYAM, all four pillars will have to ebb out equally so that the success comes your way. This is the learning from Hanumanji. Until we meet next time, stay blessed, stay happy, stay healthy and stay motivated. Thank you.